well, Charlie, how does it feel to be the Jackie Robinson of country music? So, Charlie, how does it feel to be the first colored country singer? So, Charlie, how does it feel to be the first Negro country singer? Charlie, how does it feel to be the first Afro-American country singer? Well, hold on. I said I feel the same way I did when I was colored.
From humble beginnings, Charley Pride defied all odds and conquered the challenges the world threw at him, as he wrote his name in history books. He started from struggling to make it as a pro baseball player to being a black country artist. Charley has shown generations that going from grass to grace is possible, and he was the epitome of success. But sadly, fate had something else in store for him. After a devastating report from the doctors, his life went tumbling. Join us as we delve into the life, career, and somewhat sad ending of Charley Pride, before we reveal what his family admitted to be the dark truth. Charley Pride's humble beginnings. Legendary Charley Pride was born on March 18, 1934, in a little town called Sledge, Mississippi, to parents who were diligent cotton pickers. Young Che, as he was sometimes known, was only sometimes known as Charley. His dad wanted to name him Charley Frank Pride, but there was a mix-up on his birth papers, so officially he became Charley Frank Pride. The soon-to-be icon was the fourth child out of 11 siblings, and his family was blessed with 8 boys and 3 girls. One of Che's older brothers, Mac Pride, became a baseball player before becoming a minister. Pride's love for music was as natural as the air he breathed, and when he was 14, his mom bought him his very first guitar. But given that his family could not spare from their upkeep budget to get him a tutor, Pride learned to play by himself. Just as he loved music, he never considered becoming a musician. Instead, he had always dreamed of being a pro baseball player, just like his elder brother. And in 1952, years of practice paid off, and Charley played for the Memphis Red Sox and the Negro American League. He signed up with the Boise Yankees, a New York Yankees farm team, the next year. But just as he thought he was already on an express train to stardom, a major setback came in 1953 when an injury slowed down his pitching arm, and he got moved to the Yankees' lower-level team in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. His arm did not get better, and later that year, while still in the Negro Leagues with the Louisville Clippers, Charley and another player were traded to the Birmingham Black Barons for a used bus. Pride joked about being possibly the only player ever traded for a vehicle. The hopeful superstar continued playing for various minor league teams, hoping for a shot at the major leagues until he was drafted into the U.S. Army in 1956. After basic military training, Charley was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, where he played on the base's baseball team. His arm had miraculously healed, and while he was on the team, they won the All-Army Sports Championship. Scouts from all over the country kept tabs on him, and when he finished his service in 1958, the Memphis Red Sox immediately called him back. The club fans and Charley were hoping for a movie-like baseball comeback, but then the lingering injury to his throwing arm made it tough, and he was let go to another baseball team. 2 years after Pride completed his service, he had yet to live up to the hype. He had just played 3 games for the Missoula Timberjacks before he was linked to the Cincinnati Reds, but the deal did not work out. The youthful Charley took matters into his own hands and tried out for the California Angels in 1961 and the New York Mets in 1962, but both teams passed on him. After being let go by the Timberjacks, he moved to Helena, Montana to do construction work there. He joined the local semi-pro baseball team, the East Helena Smelterites, and got a job at the Asarco Lead Smelter with the help of the team manager. The smelter kept positions open specifically for baseball players and adjusted their schedules so they could play. In his first year, Pride batted an impressive .444. Just as Pride was starting to put his life in order, his singing talent caught the attention of the team manager, who paid him extra to sing before each game to help boost attendance. Pride also performed at local gigs, sometimes solo and sometimes with the Nighthawks Band. Rise of the legend. Arco even asked him to sing at their company picnics. All this didn't ease his job at the smelter as it was tough and risky. He once broke his ankle and often got burns from working near hot furnaces. Despite the challenges, he kept up with his music and work schedule, showcasing his dedication and resilience. Between working at the smelter and his music gigs, Pride earned a decent living in the Helena area. He brought his wife and son to join him, and they lived in Helena until 1967. They bought their first home there and welcomed their children, Dion and Angela, at the local hospital. In 1967, the Pride family moved to Great Falls, Montana, because Pride's music career was taking off, and he needed easier access to an airport. However, in an interview with the Helena Independent Record, Pride's wife, Rosine, mentioned they faced some racism in Montana, like being denied service in a restaurant and not being shown homes by a realtor. However, she believed they faced less racism than the Native American community there. Despite this, Pride remembers his time in Montana, saying, "Once they let you in, you become a Montanan." Eventually, they left Montana altogether and moved to Texas in 1969. Rise of the legend. During his baseball days, Pride received encouragement from country stars like Red Sovine and Red Foley to enter the music business. He started working towards this new career path in 1958 while in Memphis. He visited Sun Studio and recorded a few songs. During his time in Montana, he performed his music solo at clubs or with a band called the Nighthawks. His big break came when Chet Atkins from RCA Records heard a demo tape and offered Pride a contract in 1966. He released his first RCA single, "The Snakes Crawl at Night." A manager and agent named Jack D. Johnson from Nashville also signed Pride. Atkins, a renowned producer at RCA, had already turned country singers like Jim Reeves and Skeeter Davis into stars. Pride officially signed with RCA in 1965. Although "The Snakes Crawl at Night" didn't make it onto the charts, Pride's name was listed as Country Charley Pride on the records sent to radio stations for airplay. Pride doesn't believe leaving out his photo was intentional. Instead, he thinks the challenge was getting promoters to accept a black country singer. He said, "People didn't care if I was pink. RCA signed me. They knew I was colored. They put the record out and let it speak for itself." Even while living in Montana, he kept singing at local venues. His career got a boost in Great Falls when he became friends with Lewis Allen "Al" Donahue, a local businessman who owned radio stations, including KM On, the first station in Montana to play Pride's records. Shortly after "The Snakes Crawl at Night" came out, Pride released another song called "Before I Met You," but it didn't make it onto the charts. But then he dropped his third single, "Just Between You and Me," and things took off. This song soared to number 9 on the Hot Country Songs chart on February 25, 1966. Even in a 1992 interview in a news report by the Associated Press, Pride reflected on the labels he had been given over the years. "They used to ask me how it feels to be the first colored country singer. Then it was first Negro country singer, and then first black country singer. Smile, you got to now. I'm the first African American country singer. That's about the only thing that's changed." Charley's career peak, the success of The Big Show. "Just Between You and Me" was huge. Pride was nominated for a Grammy Award for the song the following year. In the late summer of 1966, based on the strength of his early hits, he got booked for his first big show at Detroit's Olympia Stadium. Since no biographical information was included with his singles, most of the 10,000 country fans who showed up didn't know Pride was black. They only found out when he stepped onto the stage, and the applause faded into silence. Pride recalled, "I knew I'd have to get it over with sooner or later. I told the audience, 'Friends, I realize it's unique. I am coming out here with a permanent suntan to sing country and western to you, but that's the way it is.'" The show marked the beginning of a long and active career performing for big crowds, during which his race soon became less important than his success. In 1967, he made his history by becoming the first black performer to grace the stage at the Grand Ole Opry since DeFord Bailey. a founding member who last performed there in 1941. Between 1969 and 1971, Pride dominated the charts with 8 singles reaching #1 on the U.S. Country Hit Parade, and they even made it onto the Billboard Hot 100. Hits like All I Have to Offer You, Kiss an Angel Good Mornin', A Woman Named Today, and My Eyes Can Only See As Far As You are known as country pop. In 1969, his album The Best of Charley Pride sold over 1 million copies and earned a gold disc. Only Elvis Presley sold more records than Pride for RCA during that time. Children Pride also contributed to the film industry, performing all his children for the movie Sometimes a Great Notion, which earned 2 Oscar nominations in 1972, one for All His Children. Even though it looked like Pride was on top of the world, he showed no signs of stopping to enjoy his success. He then dropped his biggest hit yet, Kiss an Angel Good Mornin', a million-selling single that rocked both the country and pop charts. That same year, he snagged the Country Music Association's Entertainer of the Year award and grabbed the top male vocalist awards in 1971 and 1972. Kiss an Angel Good Mornin' became Pride's anthem. It ruled the country charts for 5 weeks in late 1971 and early 1972, hitting #21 on the pop charts and even making it into the top 10 of the adult contemporary charts. Throughout the 1970s and into the 1980s, Pride kept cranking out hit after hit in country music. Some of his classics from this time include Mississippi Cotton Picking Delta Town, Someone Loves You Honey, and Burgers and Fries. He even paid homage to the legendary Hank Williams with an album filled with Williams classics. Selling millions of records in 1975, despite the troubles being at their peak in Northern Ireland, Pride's agent sold a tour package to a UK booking agent. A concert promoter from Dublin named Jim Aiken managed to secure 4 dates, including one in Belfast's Ritz Cinema. Pride's performance in November 1976 and the release of his song Crystal Chandeliers as a single were seen as a unifying gesture amidst the conflict. His bravery in breaking the concert ban made him a hero to both sides, and his success paved the way for other acts to perform in Northern Ireland. Awards and accolades. Pride sang the national anthem before big games like Game 6 of the 1980 World Series, Super Bowl VIII, and Game 5 of the 2010 World Series, making the crowd wow each time. He was joined by the Del Rio High School JROTC color guard. On May 1, 1993, Charley Pride reached a major milestone by joining the prestigious Grand Ole Opry, marking his lasting influence on country music. You've Got to Kiss an Angel Good Morning. Then in 2016, he was chosen as one of 30 artists for Forever Country, a unique mix celebrating 50 years of the Country Music Association Awards, adding to his impressive legacy. In 1994, Pride shared his incredible journey in his book, Pride, The Charley Pride Story. In an interview on Nashville Public Television, he opened up about his upbringing in Mississippi, the challenges of racism he faced, and his struggles with depression. On June 5, 2008, Pride and his brother Mac, along with 28 other former Negro League players, were drafted by each of the 30 Major League Baseball teams to recognize their achievements. Pride was chosen by the Texas Rangers, with whom he has had a long connection, while the Colorado Rockies picked his brother Mac. In 2016, Pride was chosen as one of the elite artists to feature on Forever Country, a special track celebrating 50 years of the Country Music Association Awards. His first album in 6 years, Music in My Heart, was released on July 7, 2017, drawing excitement from fans. In 2020, the Country Music Association announced that Pride would receive the Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award at the 54th Country Music Association Awards. The CMA CEO praised Pride as a trailblazer, whose distinctive voice has left an indelible mark on country music worldwide, earning him one of the CMA's highest honors. Personal life. Charley Pride's life story was filled with relationships, struggles, and triumphs. He first met his future wife, Rosine, during his baseball days in Memphis, Tennessee. They tied the knot in 1956 while Pride was on leave from Army training during Christmas. Together they raised 2 sons, Craig and Dion, and a daughter named Angela. The Pride family grew over time, welcoming 5 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. In 1997, he underwent surgery to remove a tumor from his vocal cord at the University of Arkansas for medical sciences. His dedication to music was evident in 2009, when during a routine checkup at the same hospital, he surprised the Arkansas Senate with an impromptu performance of 5 songs, even sharing the stage with Governor Mike Beebe. Besides his musical pursuits, Charley Pride was a devoted family man, a steadfast friend, and a pioneer in country music. A devoted fan, Pride partially owned the Texas Rangers baseball team and sang the national anthem at some games. Interestingly, Pride is distantly related to blues artist Christone "Kingfish" Ingram. Tragic death. In November 2020, the legendary country singer Charley Pride made an appearance at the Country Music Association (CMA) Awards in Nashville to receive the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award. Pride, a trailblazer in the country music industry and a symbol of resilience and perseverance, had long been celebrated for breaking racial barriers in a genre historically dominated by white artists. His performance at the CMAs that night, where he sang his iconic hit, "Kiss an Angel Good Mornin'," was a poignant moment, resonating with both the audience in attendance and his countless fans worldwide. The song, which had topped the country charts back in 1971, had become synonymous with Pride's career, a testament to his enduring appeal and talent. However, unbeknownst to the adoring crowd, and perhaps even to Pride himself, this performance would mark his final appearance on stage. The warmth and energy he exuded that night belied the health challenges that awaited him just weeks later. Shortly after returning from the awards show, Charley Pride's health began to deteriorate. What initially seemed like a routine illness quickly escalated into a severe condition. His family, deeply concerned for his well-being, rushed him to the hospital. The doctors, faced with a rapidly declining patient during a global pandemic, were unsure whether Pride's symptoms were due to COVID-19 or another ailment such as pneumonia. As a precaution, they began treating him for pneumonia, a common complication for someone of his age and with his symptoms. As the days passed, it became increasingly clear that Pride's condition was more serious than initially thought. A specialist from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, was called in to assess the situation. The specialist confirmed the family's worst fears. Charley Pride had contracted COVID-19. This diagnosis was devastating, particularly given the virus's well-documented impact on older individuals and those with pre-existing health conditions. Throughout this harrowing time, Pride's beloved wife, Rosine, remained steadfastly by his side. Their marriage, which had endured nearly 64 years, was a cornerstone of Pride's life. The couple had been planning to celebrate their 64th wedding anniversary on December 28th, a milestone that, tragically, they would not reach together. As Pride's condition worsened, he was moved to the intensive care unit, ICU. Despite the best efforts of the medical team, he eventually lost consciousness, slipping into a state from which he would not recover. On December 12, 2020, exactly a month before what would have been their anniversary, Charley Pride passed away due to complications from COVID-19. He was 86 years old. The news of his death sent shockwaves through the country music community and beyond. Tributes poured in from fellow musicians, fans, and public figures, all of whom recognized Pride's immense contributions to music and his role as a pioneer for Black artists in country music. Pride's death marked the end of an era, but his legacy continues to live on through his music and the countless lives he touched throughout his career. His passing also served as a sobering reminder of the devastating impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly on vulnerable populations. As his family, friends, and fans mourned his loss, they also celebrated the incredible life he had lived. Charley Pride was more than just a country music star. He was a symbol of hope, perseverance, and the power of music to bring people together across divides. Even in his final moments on stage, he gave his audience the gift of his voice, leaving them with a memory of his talent, grace, and the enduring charm that had made him a beloved figure in the world of country music. Charley Pride's journey from a poor sharecropper's son in Mississippi to a country music icon is a story of determination, talent, and breaking barriers. His final performance at the CMAs, where he received the Lifetime Achievement Award, was a fitting culmination of a life dedicated to his craft and to the fans who had supported him throughout his career. Though he is no longer with us, Charley Pride's music and his legacy continue to inspire new generations of artists and listeners alike. Charley's shocking secret revealed. 5 months after the passing of the legendary Charley Pride, a surprising and emotionally charged legal battle emerged that would reveal a deeply personal aspect of the late country singer's life. The dispute centered around a man from Texas named Tyler Pride, who at 41 years old came forward to contest Charley Pride's will. Tyler claimed that he had been intentionally left out of the will in an effort to conceal a long-held family secret and protect Charley's public reputation. The world knew Charley Pride as a trailblazing country music star who shattered racial barriers and captivated audiences with his warm voice and enduring charm. He was also a devoted husband to his wife, Rosine Pride, with whom he had 3 children, Carlton, Dion, and Angela. However, what the public didn't know was that in the late 1970s, Charley Pride had a romantic relationship with an unmarried flight attendant from Dallas. This relationship resulted in the birth of a son, Tyler, in 1979. A son whose existence was not widely known until decades later. In 1990, the flight attendant took legal action against Charley Pride, suing him for child support. Initially, Pride contested the paternity of the child, a move that would have been understandable given his prominent status as a country music icon. However, a DNA test ultimately confirmed that he was indeed Tyler's father. In 1992, following a court order, Charley Pride began providing child support payments, which continued until Tyler turned 18. As part of the legal agreement, Tyler's last name was changed to Pride, officially recognizing him as Charley Pride's son. Despite this legal acknowledgement of paternity, Charley Pride maintained a distant relationship with Tyler. Perhaps driven by concerns about how the revelation of an extramarital child might affect his reputation and career, Pride kept his interactions with Tyler limited to occasional phone calls. This limited contact underscored the complexities of Pride's life, as both a public figure and a father, balancing the demands of his career with the personal challenges of navigating a hidden relationship. Following Charley Pride's death in December 2020, the reading of his will revealed that Tyler's name was conspicuously absent. The will, which listed his other 3 children with Rosine as beneficiaries, did not include any provision for Tyler. This omission prompted Tyler to challenge the will, claiming that he had been unjustly excluded in an effort to keep his existence a secret and to protect Charley's legacy. Tyler's legal challenge brought to light the intricate and painful dynamics within the Pride family, as well as the broader implications of fame and the lengths to which people might go to maintain a carefully crafted public image. Rosine Pride, as the executor of Charley's will, responded to the lawsuit by acknowledging Tyler as Charley's son, but asserting that Tyler had already received fair recognition and compensation during Charley's lifetime. She viewed the legal challenge as a mere attempt to gain financially from Charley's estate. Rosine's stance reflected the deep-seated tensions that had simmered beneath the surface for years, tensions that were now being played out in a very public forum. The dispute over Charley Pride's will quickly became a focal point of media attention, with fans and observers alike weighing in on the complicated family dynamics. On one side, there was Tyler, who sought not only financial compensation, but also a formal acknowledgement of his place within the Pride family. On the other side was Rosine, who was determined to protect the legacy of her late husband and to uphold what she believed was Charley's true intent in his will. The battle between Rosine and Tyler was emblematic of the broader struggles that often accompany the estates of famous individuals, where money, legacy, and personal relationships become intertwined in complex and often painful ways. Tyler Pride's case was bolstered by the legal recognition of his paternity, dating back to the 1992 court decision that had officially confirmed Charley as his father. This legal precedent added weight to Tyler's claim, positioning him not just as an outsider seeking financial gain, but as a legitimate member of the Pride family who had been recognized by the courts. For Tyler, the lawsuit was about more than just money. It was about securing his place within a family that had, in many ways, kept him at arm's length. He wanted the court to definitively settle the question of whether he was entitled to a share of Charley's estate, a question that had profound implications for his identity and sense of belonging. As the legal battle unfolded, it revealed much about Charley Pride's life beyond the spotlight. It shed light on the private struggles and difficult decisions that he had faced, balancing his public persona with the complexities of his personal life. The case also highlighted the broader impact of fame on families, where the pressures of maintaining a public image can lead to strained relationships and unresolved conflicts. In the aftermath of Charley Pride's death, the legal dispute over his estate added a new layer of complexity to his legacy. While his contributions to country music and his role as a pioneering black artist remained unquestioned, the revelations about his personal life offered a more nuanced understanding of the man behind the music. Fans who had admired Charley for his talent and charm were now confronted with the reality that even their heroes have complicated and sometimes painful personal histories. Despite the turmoil surrounding his estate, Charley Pride's influence on country music and his impact on the lives of countless fans continue to resonate. His death marked the end of a remarkable career, but his music lives on, a testament to his enduring legacy. In a fitting tribute to his life and work, Charley's family requested that instead of flowers, donations be made to the Pride Scholarship at Jesuit College Preparatory School, St. Philip's School and Community Center, or local food banks and charities. These gestures reflected the values that had guided Charley's life, his commitment to giving back and supporting those in need. The story of Charley Pride, now intertwined with the legal battle over his estate, serves as a reminder of the complexities that often accompany the lives of famous individuals. It underscores the challenges of reconciling public success with private struggles and the ways in which legacies are shaped not only by achievements, but also by the personal stories that emerge in their wake. As the legal dispute between Rosine and Tyler Pride continues to unfold, it will no doubt shape the ongoing narrative of Charley Pride's life and legacy, offering new insights into the man behind the music and the enduring impact of his contributions to country music and beyond. The Pride family. While performing in Memphis, fate intervened when Charley met his future wife, Rosine Corinthian. Rosine, a cosmetologist from Mississippi, quickly formed a strong connection with Charley. The joyful couple then exchanged vows in 1956. Charley and Rosine collaborated to build a solid family, serving as each other's support pillars. Rosine even took on the role of Charley's business manager. However, it would be another 10 years before he achieved success in country music. Rosine played significant roles in her husband's career, providing advice behind the scenes and networking with industry insiders to help Charley advance in country music. Since his passing, she has been in charge of his estate and foundations. Charley's youngest son, Dion, embodies the saying, "like father, like son." Not only does he strongly resemble his dad, but he's also following in Pride's footsteps professionally. He's a skilled musician, mastering the guitar, drums, bass, and piano. Alongside his musical talents, Dion has a knack for singing and songwriting, starting his musical journey as a teen. At just 16, Dion made his debut singing and acting in the movie The Double MacGuffin, lending his voice to the opening and closing songs. Pride couldn't be prouder of his son's TV debut. From a young age, Dion vowed to surpass his father, and by his late teens, he was well on his way to fulfilling that promise. Over the years, Dion has performed his dad's songs to packed crowds in Ireland, Scotland, Canada, and England. What's remarkable is that he's inherited Pride's humility, always staying grounded despite his achievements. Dion isn't just a talented musician, he's also a devoted husband, as seen in a delightful photo on his Instagram where he and his wife beam with joy. The icon's eldest son, Craig, now known as Carlton, is following his father's path, though he embarked on his musical journey later than his sibling. Pride once launched a 24-track recording studio in Dallas, where Carlton was the sound studio manager. Carlton now leads his reggae band, Zion Reggae Music, which he established in 1995 while residing near San Marcos, Texas. In June 2017, he rocked the stage at the newly reopened Jackson, Mississippi, Underground 119 Blues Club. People there said he was the best of both worlds, great for shows and parties. Later that August, he was the show's star at the 10th St. Louis Blues Festival, sharing the stage with other awesome artists. In October of that same year, he appeared on an episode of Jazz KN in America, alongside other blues talents. He even teamed up with Gary Clark Jr. for a song on Eric Giles's album. He also wowed the crowd at the Chicago Blues Festival in 2018. Luke Cage creator Cheo Hodari Coker mentioned that he picked Ingram to appear in the show's second season. He showed up in episode 4, rocking out with 2 songs. In June 2018, he performed with hip-hop legend Rakim for NPR Music's Tiny Desk concert series, where he belted out some awesome tunes. Kingfish's first album came out on Alligator Records on May 17, 2019. It was made with the help of Grammy-winning musician Tom Hambridge at Ocean Way Studio in Nashville. Kingfish didn't just hit the charts, it soared to the top spot on the Billboard Blues chart and grabbed the #1 spot on the Billboard Heatseeker chart. Billboard magazine even called him a blues prodigy, and No Depression magazine praised the album as stunning and hailed him as a young blues man with an ancient soul. AllMusic picked Kingfish as one of their favorite blues albums. It even got nominated for a Grammy Award in the Best Traditional Blues Album category. NPR Music gave people a sneak peek of Kingfish a week before its release, and the reviews were amazing. One writer said his guitar playing was astounding, almost like he was singing through it. At the Non-Convention in Philadelphia in May 2019, Ingram blew everyone away with his passionate performance. WXPN radio station raved about his playing, saying it was filled with passion and that he had a rare talent for making every note his own. Rolling Stone even praised his music video for Outside of This Town, calling it trippy and surreal. He didn't stop there. In August, he performed with the rock band Vampire Weekend on 11 dates. Let's not forget his earlier tours with legends like Buddy Guy. In May 2020, he scooped up 5 Blues Music Awards, including Album of the Year for Kingfish. Then, just 2 months later, he released a new single, Rock and Roll, as a tribute to his mom who passed away the previous December. Later, in July 2021, Ingram dropped his second album, 662. He hails from Clarksdale, Mississippi, and according to him, 662 is all about representing the whole North Mississippi Delta. Then, on April 3, 2022, he snagged the Grammy Award for Best Contemporary Blues Album for 662 at the 64th Annual Grammy Awards, a huge achievement. In September, Fender launched a special Kingfish Signature Deluxe. He even shared the stage with the Rolling Stones at Hyde Park, London, as part of the 2020 British Summertime Concerts. And in 2023, he was crowned the Contemporary Blues Male Artist of the Year at the Blues Music Awards. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.